يوم حتطير يتحدد بيها مصير
العالم والحرية،
العالم والحرية.
إيد على إيد،
صوت على صوت يغنوا سبق الحلم الجميل، دنيتنا أحلى منه، إيد على إيد تشيل. صوت على صوت يغنوا جوانا بيبرميل، نيل منا واحنا منه.
وغياب ورجوع وسفر، نتلم بضي قمر، ويعدي العمر ونبقى ذكرى بجواب وصور.
غياب ورجوع وسفر، نتلم في ضي قمر، ويعدي العمر ونبقى ذكرى جواب وصور.
لكن مشاعرنا تطير ألوان أشواق عصافير،
لكن مشاعرنا تطير ألوان أشواق عصافير،
أو نسمة من الحرية،
أو نسمة من الحرية. زمن الحلم الجميل، دنيتنا أحلى منه، إيد على إيد تشيل. صوت على صوت يغنوا جوانا بيبرميل، نيل منا واحنا منه.
Dear viewers, we apologize for the technical problem we just had, and we're right back again. We're starting, we have the regional counter-terrorism coordination between the UK and Egypt has been a priority for discussion as the foreign ministers of both nations met in London on Monday. The Egyptian Foreign Minister, Sameh Shoukry's two-day visit to London, which began on Sunday, came 2 days after the deadly attacks in northern Sinai. The latest attacks to occur in the area claimed the lives of at least 30 soldiers and injured dozens more. Shoukry has also attended the trilateral consultation mechanism meeting with the foreign ministers of Greece and Cyprus. Shoukry's participation in the meeting came on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly held in New York. And we have, gladly enough, today joining us Ambassador Haitham Saif al-Nasri, the Assistant Foreign Minister for European Affairs. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for taking the time and joining us.
Pleasure to be with you.
Mr. Ambassador, thank you very much for being with us today on Nile Cruise. But if we start by speaking about the support that we have been receiving from the United States, the United Nations, the European Union, and other international organizations regarding fighting terrorism here in Egypt, what about the support that we have not been receiving regarding declaring the Brotherhood organization as a terrorist organization?
I had the privilege of accompanying the foreign minister to Britain and to Cyprus. And what I can share with you is that we found total support and sympathy with what Egypt is going through as a firewall against terrorism in the area. We found that in our meetings with parliamentarians, with the Prime Minister, Mr. Cameron, with the Foreign Minister, and all components of the British society. But we think that facing terrorism has to be unequivocal, emphatic, and it has to encompass all kinds of terrorism. When a group incites violence, preaches to its followers to use terror as a weapon to reach their sinister ends, then it should be defined as terrorist. This is our view. We watch sometimes legalistic, sterile debates about who's a terrorist and who's not. I will borrow a Western adage that says, if it talks like a duck, if it walks like a duck, if it quacks like the duck, then it's a duck.
Well, Mr. Ambassador, if you can also share with us, what were the main important points that were in specifically maybe that were discussed between the foreign ministry during the recent visits in combating terrorism?
We had ironclad commitments that, in this case, Britain will be with us in our fight. Of course, this means different things to different people. What we are asking for, again, is that we see eye to eye on what constitutes terrorism, and that it should encompass all kinds. So we don't fight certain wars against terrorism in certain geographical areas and leave out others. So because of the interconnections between both, we think that all of these organizations, whatever the labels they have, they drink from the same poisonous well. So it's the well of extremism and violence and so on. So there is no, again, hair splitting. It has to be, this commitment has to be total and unequivocal.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador, British Prime Minister David Cameron has ordered a review for the activities of the Brotherhood organization in England, of course, and of course in Britain. So what about the implications of this review regarding the activities of the Brotherhood organization?
Well, they did not announce the findings yet. It was supposed to be announced, I think, by July. They have not. This is a British effort. I think in Britain, from following the news and developments in Britain, they have a challenge. They have a challenge with charity organizations, with what's going on in educational institutions and so on. So for British reasons, they have been conducting this survey, and we're still waiting for the results.
Yes.
And Mr. Ambassador, the UK, alongside other nations, they're carrying airstrikes against ISIS and the ISIS targets in Iraq specifically, while the US is carrying out strikes in both Iraq and Syria. What is the role of Egypt in this coalition?
Well, the role of Egypt is not in operations, but we are part of this coalition against terrorism, whether it's Daesh, whether it's anywhere. As I said, it's under so many labels.
Sure.
You have Boko Haram in Africa. You have Al Shabaab in Somalia. You have Ansar Bayt al Maqdis. You have all kinds of. They are labels to mean the same thing. So I think it would be a mistake to focus on one and leave out the others, because they are so transportable. And you find sometimes it has been spotted that some terrorists who are fighting, for example, in Syria or Iraq, you find them in Libya a few days later. So this war has to be really comprehensive and without any compromises.
Yes, Mr. Ambassador, regarding the Palestinian-Israeli war or aggression